Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Also welcome to Greece. In today's video, we're going to discuss a multiple amount of things. What I have been doing over the last 10 days in Greece. Also I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history, what India and Greece share. And also I'm going to tell you all the cars which I drove over the past 10 days. But right now I'm standing next to the Peugeot 3008. It is a brand new car and just 1 month old. So without wasting any time, let's get along with it. Let's have a quick discussion about the relation between India and Greece, the similarities between India and Greece. Point number one, both are old civilizations. Yes, India is definitely older, but Greece or the Greek civilization is the second oldest civilization. And other than that, there has always been a relation or an association between the Indians and the Greeks. During Alexander's failed invasion of India by a local chieftain called Porus, when he tried to invade India and his horse died, and after that he retreated all the way back to Babylon, where he eventually died. So that was the start. So after Alexander's so-called loss, Seleucus Nicator was the general of Alexander who wanted to again invade India, and that time the king was Chandragupta Maurya. So when Chandragupta Maurya and Seleucus Nicator came to war, the war ended in a treaty where Seleucus Nicator offered his daughter to Chandragupta Maurya as a part of a peace deal, and Chandragupta Maurya accepted and married the daughter of Seleucus Nicator. And that is when the Indo-Greek period started. Again, this is not really covered in our history books. Some of us would be also having some Greek ancestry, some people around the western part of India. This topic you can look it up online or Google it, or you can also watch some videos of Mr. Abhijit Chavda, who is a very well-known historian. So you can just look it up. You will have good amount of data. Alright, so before I talk about the Peugeot, let me give you a brief about what I have been driving over the past 10 days. So whenever I go to a rental company, I usually ask for a manual. Very few times you do get lucky and you get cars like this. However, in this entire trip, I had the opportunity to rent 2 manual cars. One is this, and the second one we will discuss in some time. But the first car which I rented was a compact hot hatch. It was an Audi A1. An extremely smart decision because the streets in Mykonos were small and tight. So definitely it was a wise pick. Also, it was the first time I was driving the Audi A1 and I genuinely enjoyed the chassis, the steering feel, as well as the overall handling dynamics of the car. It did feel much more sure-footed and solid than our VW Polo, the India spec. The next car which I rented was not a compact one, but a very large SUV, but a manual SUV, and that was the Skoda Kodiaq. I picked the Kodiaq only on the basis because I had the opportunity to drive the manual transmission Kodiaq. That was not a wise decision because the streets in Santorini were very small, extremely tight, narrow spaces, tiny lanes, because the villa where we were staying in Santorini was located in a village called Emporio. It had very narrow streets, so it was a challenge to maneuver the large Kodiaq through those streets. However, it was a fun experience I had, particularly because the Kodiaq had a very slick shifting manual transmission, which I really enjoyed. The next car which I rented was in the island of Crete, which is supposedly the largest island in Greece. However, the car in Crete was an Audi A3, and that was the latest generation Audi A3. It was again a turbo petrol, 7-speed DCT, I believe, but fantastic car to drive. I love the interior. That Audi had extremely special, fresh, modern interiors. I love that overall dual placement of the air vents on both sides of the instrument cluster. That was really making the interior look very special. And now let's talk about this Peugeot 3008. This is having an extremely nice shifting 6-speed manual transmission. However, the engine is just a 1.2 liter turbo petrol one. It does lack that outright grunt, and it's not going to win any drag races for you. But it is surely a great car to enjoy driving, cruising, and blow your own gears. So right now, let's just concentrate on getting to our destination, which is the Temple of Poseidon, and I will meet you guys at the location. So we have reached the Temple of Poseidon parking lot, and it's a sort of a small hike here to the Temple of Poseidon, the god of the sea, as they say. So let's just pay him a visit, yeah? So I've reached the location where this archaeological site is of the Temple of Poseidon, and the view out here is amazing. Right, so I'm on the way to the airport now to drop off this car and take my flight back to Mumbai. So I would like to summarize my Greece experience by starting off, talking about Mykonos, which is definitely a party island, and it was the most happening and the most fun place to be in. Santorini is not that happening, and not as fun as Mykonos. Ideal for honeymoon couples if they find a good resort. Then Crete, which is the largest island. Driving in Crete is really good fun. Whereas Santorini and Mykonos, the streets are pretty narrow. You really cannot have that much fun, while you are in Crete. It's also essential to have a car in Crete because the island is large, and if you stick to taxis or Uber, which is non-existent in Crete, it's going to be a very expensive island for you. The entire Greece experience has been slightly underwhelming. I felt it is a bit overhyped. However, the cars which I drove throughout kept me entertained. And on that note, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.